The show goes on from an electric madhouse on Market as we welcome you to round two, the Brantford Bulldogs. The North Bay Battalion on Rogers TV, Cable 14, and your TV up north. It's Reed Duthie alongside my broadcast partner, Norm Miller, with Troy Islikar and Laura Kitchen at ice level. Norm, the Bulldogs finished off a sweep. The North Bay Battalion battled their way through the Peterborough Petes, and this series happened just over a year ago.
Yeah, these two teams met in the first round last year, a series the Bulldogs ultimately won in 5 games. But new season, new series here with the Battalion and the Bulldogs facing off here at the TD Civic Center.
But the Battalion will be led by a very familiar face. Ethan Procession was Mr. Everything in round one. Norm, not only does he wear the captaincy, not only was he an offensive driver, but our player to watch for the Battalion took 142 face-offs in round one and won 57% of them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Ethan Procession, certainly 3 goals and an assist in that first round, including a game-tying goal in Game 6, with just seconds remaining on the clock to send that game to overtime, where the Battalion eventually won in double overtime, thanks to Parker Vaughn's heroics. But Procession has he'll eat up a lot of the heavy minutes for the Battalion, and this team runs a little bit deeper than what we saw with Sudbury. 3 balanced lines that can all contribute.
On the other side, when you talk about offensive balance, the Bulldogs have had it for the majority of this season, and Caleb Malhotra took the lead in round one with 9 points. He was electric all series.
Yeah, Malhotra playing in his first season in the Ontario Hockey League, second in rookie scoring than Nikita Klepov. 9 points in that first round in 4 games, and Bulldogs have just dropped them in. And from night one, Caleb Malhotra has looked like he's played in this league for 3 or 4 seasons. Takes big minutes, takes draws, penalty kills, power play, all of the situations Caleb Malhotra is involved.
Right before we went to air tonight, a switch for the Bulldogs lineup. Cam Hankai will step in. Vladimir Dravetsky, who we thought was going to play alongside his regular partner in Edison Engel, will not go tonight. How important is it for a team like the Bulldogs to have Cam Hankai right there that you can just drop him right back in?
Yeah, Hankai having to play in Game 3 and 4 in the first round when Ben Danford was suspended for 2 games for his hit in Game 2 of this series, and Game 2 in the first round series. But yeah, Hankai ready, available. He's played a little bit of defense. He's pitched in at forward, and he draws in tonight for Game 1 of this series.
Downstairs we go to Soraya Orr for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Soraya. As we get set for the drop of the puck, let's take a look at your starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Elite Excavations. Put down the shovels, we want to dig for you. And Norm, this man dug it in the first round.
Yeah, Jack, listen, Oakville, Ontario, you see his numbers in that first round. .950 save percentage, a 1.71 goals against average during the regular season. Listen, finished 7th in the OHL in goals against average at 2.59. And at the Brantford end, it's going to be Ryerson Leanders, who played every minute of round one for the Bulldogs. 39 regular season games, .910 save percentage, a goals against average of 2.69. Dropped goals against average a little bit in that first round, down to 2.47.
Our officials for Game 1, Jason Feist and Chad Ingles, have the armbands. Luke Pye and Devin Gale will have the lines. Bulldogs will wear the home blacks trimmed with white and gold. The visiting battalion in the road whites trimmed with army green, yellow, and black. And it will be the Bulldogs counter to the Dallas Stars' grumpy old men. Gabriel Frasca in between Luca Testa and Charlie Paquette. They'll be joined by Ben Danford and Zach Sandu. Frasca in procession to lead it off in game one. Bulldogs going right to left across your speakers, and we're underway. Kent Greer will flash the puck forward, and the Bulldogs will have an early offensive zone drop, 7 seconds into game number one.
Yeah, the scratches on the Brantford side. Jeremy Freeman, Nick Rossetto, and Philip Govderis draw out. David Buckman also a scratch, and as we touched on off the opening, Vladimir Trevetsky, and we'll get to the North Bay scratches in a moment.
Gabriel Frasca to lean in again against Procession. Puck pulled back to the line. Paquette to the left point, Zach Sandu. He'll toss it off the end wall and around the back. Testa with head up to Paquette in the circle, rifled it wide of the net. Zach Sandu will bring it down from the left point, around the back once more. Testa interrupted by Kent Greer. Puck played off the strings of the goal. Procession on to Frasca, and the puck will be moved forward to Nick Wellenreiter. You know he'll have support in the crowd, the watered down product. Procession tosses it in. Sandu will turn it deep in his own zone.
Both teams getting changes in.
You beat me to it. Owen Prots back behind his own goal line. We saw come together in game 4 in Sudbury. Jet Luchenko to the right of Jake O'Brien and Merrick Van Acker. And it was the line that combined for the series-winning goal that was scored by Edison Engel. Gedicek tosses the puck forward. Great to see Shamar Moses in the lineup for the North Bay Battalion. We did not get to see him much in the season series between the two teams. Ryder Cali with a block on Jake O'Brien. Shot, Luchenko gets underneath. Kept the puck in the offensive zone. Manzo tosses it along to Moses. For Amidovsky, he's got numbers. Amidovsky right side, blocked by Owen Prots. Adam Gedicek skips his way off the wall. Merrick Van Acker left wing side. Luchenko into the circle, drop for Van Acker into space, scores! Merrick Van Acker opens up the second round. Luchenko right onto his tape. Van Acker's got his 4th in the postseason. 1-0 Bulldogs.
Goal's going to come a minute 33 into this hockey game, and it's a nice little drop pass. You're going to see Merrick Van Acker. It starts with a breakup by Gedicek. Van Acker drives and then just sits in that little pocket of space in between the North Bay defenders and just rifles that shot blocker side on Listen. And Troy, what did you see ice level?
Yeah, that was just a tremendous pass by Jet Luchenko. And we talked about off the air how Luchenko is going to be the wild card in this series, and he's already shown it this early on in this first period.
North Bay Battalion may be looking at an offside here.
While we're waiting, Jonathan Kapodoritis, Alex Karmanoff, Caden Petru, which is a big loss for the battalion. He scored 6 points in 4 games against the Bulldogs during the regular season. And Hayden Barch for all these scratches in the North Bay.
Hayden Barch, a big loss as well. Play under review for an offside.
Yeah, Barch. In the house, you see that one.
Live motion, I thought Luchenko stayed on side, but when you get the frame by frame, unless his back skate was still touching the ice as Van Acker crossed the line, this is going to come back. I believe they have an overhead shot of this, for the officials to take a look at, which will likely tell the tale. And now they brought everybody in on this. It's a meeting of the minds.
Our first look, we thought no goal. We'll see what the officials say.
I think they're just figuring out the time.
Yeah, no goal. That's a great look from the North Bay bench.
Yeah, fans here not happy clearly, but I think you get a look at it. Here's the overhead. And you're going to see to the left of your screen is Van Acker. Yeah, and he's in by about a half stride.
That's a great look.
He being Jet Luchenko.
All right, we reset. 18:31 on the clock, 0-0.
A reprieve, as it were, for the battalion.
And that will quiet this electric crowd that has been noisy from the get-go. Cooper Dennis into the offensive zone. Starting forward is Laird, off the right wing side, trying to cut through. Hankai back over top of the puck. Taken to the end wall by Vaughn. Banach shuttles it along for Cooper Dennis. This was the other line that came together in game 4 with Luchenko going up and Maholtra with the reverse hit, then Vaughn onto Maholtra, and Vaughn gave him an extra shot on the end. Parker Vaughn is going to be nabbed for roughing here. He came over, he threw a clean hit on Maholtra, but then gave him a pop with the glove afterwards. Bulldogs will go to the power play.
Yeah, and this is something we haven't even had a chance to talk about yet in this game, is the power play of the Brantford Bulldogs and how North Bay needs to stay off the PK. They're missing Caden Petrie on their penalty kill, and that's going to hurt them tonight. They got to stay off the PK.
Sorry, Troy, there's the roughing call there. You had a great view of that, or unless Chris Cook was in your way, of that shot by Vaughn.
No, typically, they don't call that, but that was called.
Caleb Maholtra around the back, Merrick Van Acker on to Adam Banach. Banach trying to spin away from Bronson Ride. Yedacek steps down to the circle. O'Brien backside, loose puck, scores! Caleb Maholtra! He just can't be stopped in this postseason. His 6th goal in his first OHL playoff run. And this time the Bulldogs have the 1-0 lead.
Well, 16 Parker Vaughn took the penalty, and his goal comes 16 seconds into the power play. The Bulldogs get possession right away. And Yurachek just a little step in and pass across to O'Brien. Listen, kicks the rebound out, and Maholtra right there on the doorstep to bang it in.
Yeah, I already see a difference in the North Bay penalty kill than the Sudbury penalty kill. Sudbury were pressuring all the time, pressuring points. North Bay stayed back and just boxed things up. And that might be a little bit of the benefit for the Brantford Bulldogs.
Well, to that point, Troy, Vince Lace in the first round turned what had been a strength for the Wolves against them, is now Dylan Tishurna and Carter Kunapaski getting after it. Tishurna's first shift in months. And I think that first shift is only going to last a handful of seconds.
Right.
Jack Lisson covered up the puck. Tishurna went body to body on Kunapaski, but it was late, and now Ryder Bolton and Ryder Carey having a conversation.
Bulldog penalty killing defenseman already out there in Sandu and Danford. They know what's coming. That goal, by the way, Jake O'Brien and Adam Yurachek with the assist on the Maholtra goal.
That is not the way that Dylan Tishurna wanted to come back into this line.
No, and you get it, 4th line, you're trying to give some energy and get everyone fired up, especially coming off a big power play goal, and perhaps a little guilty of some over-enthusiasm.
Hasn't played since January. And Ben Danford off the ensuing draw will run this puck all the way down the rink.
Sportsmanlike conduct, the call.
Yeah, I think it was just that it came after the whistle, after Lisson had already held the puck up. As Wallenreiter around the back of the net. Callie towards the front. Sandu will send it all the way out and down the frozen river. And take note, we've seen that now on both sides. that Chad Ingles and Jason Feist are not going to let anything carry on and linger in behind the play. The standard is set. Kent Greer from the blue line. Across to Wellenreiter. Down low procession. Nice move on the goal line. Danford was able to slide the puck away, and he'll send it all the way down.
Battalion power play so far in the playoffs, 3 for 14. The Bulldog penalty kill finished 8th. So after that first round, it's 78.6%.
Evgeny Debratsev carries on wide to the right side. Quote-unquote fourth-line center at 3 assists in round 1. It's pretty good fourth-line production.
Well, including on the series clinching goal.
Yeah, nice play by Debratsev on that one as Protz around the back of the net. He'll take, toss, and got underneath the forehand of Sebastian Gervais and down the ring. 33 seconds left of power play time. Kent Greer to start his way out. Drop on to Debratsev. Left wing side is Gervais. He'll poke it down to the left corner. Around the back of the net, Amidovsky on top. Spins it out top. Harper back on to Amidovsky. Slung away by Danford. Taken by Malhotra and all the way down again.
Sure on his feet, 10 seconds or so left in that penalty.
You can see the difference already having Ben Danford back in the lineup as well.
Yeah, Bulldogs went to Sudbury without him. For games 3 and 4, persevered and a couple one-goal wins.
Zach Sandu around the back of the net takes heavy contact there from Ryder Carey. Caleb Malhotra played it forward. Carey blocked it down, forcing it to the wall. Batted out of the air by Shamar Moses. Played it along. Sandu took it away, and Cooper Dennis starts. Dennis on the left side. The drop is Malhotra. To the front, listen, guides that away. Bronson Ryder around the wall. There, Amidovsky. Rink wide to Shamar Moses. Moses up over the line, draws, fires, kick, save made by Leenders. Adam Jedicek into neutral ice. Nice move to get loose. Drop onto Luchenko, back to Jedicek. Pauses out front. Caught down by Protz, blocked off by Moses. Protz over to Jedicek, one-timer. Listen had the post. Jedicek trying to pull through his feet. Ryder Carey will take it back. Jet Luchenko onto him. Frees it up. O'Brien dusts it. Van Acker touched it wide. Protz left point brings it down. O'Brien filling right. O'Brien working at Vaughn. Around the back of the net he goes to the left half wall. Jedicek across the slot. Van Acker. Arm stop made by Listen. Puck will be tossed down the rink, and that will be icing. And while we have a moment, guys, I want to give a big shout out to the watch party up north, the Fox and Fiddle in North Bay. The Troops trio are there. Bob Coles will be doing the announcing of any battalion goals as he does in the arena in North Bay, along with Matt Sukram and Wrench and RuPaul, the guys from the Troops trio. And for fans watching on TV, you'll get Ranjan and Greg for games 3 and 4 in North Bay, and a great broadcast up there.
That sounds like fun up there. If I wasn't here, I'd want to be there.
I guarantee you they're having fun. Shamar Moses up the wall. Let's turn around the OHL. Ranjan is one of my favorite people that is in the play-by-play world. What a guy.
Yeah, him and Greg do a nice job. It's fun to listen to them.
They just sound like they have fun. Puck forward for Charlie Paquette. It'll run down the rink, and that's icing. 13:35 left to play in the first period. The Bulldogs with a 1-0 lead. You're watching Game 1 on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Face-off in the Bulldog zone. Evgeny Debratsev and Gabriel Fresca. Fresco get the puck loose onto Sandu, who will launch it up and out. Carter Kunapaski. Young defenseman, bright future. Lays it forward. Caleb Maholtra off the end wall. Looking for Cam Hancock. Wanted it on to Cooper Dennis. Turned over to Carey, and the shot blows the mask off of Ryerson Leaders, but he'll make the stop.
Yeah, Kunapaski out of the Ottawa Valley, and certainly from Pakenham, Ontario, did not look out of place in the time that he played and the bit that I got to watch of that first round series. Played in all 6 games against Peterborough. Didn't register a point, but looked solid back there on the blue line, and there you see Leanders taking that one off the beam.
Back to the blue line, Kent Greer off the draw. Sebastian Gervais from the half wall, now on to Nick Wellenreiter. Taken loose by Adam Banach for Cooper Dennis. Back to Banach, over the line. Dennis into space, to the slot. Save made by Lisson. Banach tried to toss it, and that one will get around the back boards. Sandu handles it at the left point, below the goal line, Maholtra. Maholtra trying to steer it away from Enright. Procession beat to it there by Banach. A little bit of help from Greer, lost it at the edge of his reach. Banach down low, looking for the option, wanted Maholtra, was just out of his reach, and Wellenreiter will play it into neutral ice. Maholtra back in, Banach just hadn't got clear.
Troy, I know it's early and we're only 7.5 minutes into this series, but are you hearing much between the benches, or are they just getting warmed up?
Yeah, no, not a lot. This is very similar to the Sudbury series, where they just kind of felt each other out. There wasn't a whole lot of chirping back and forth, and sure, we will see that. It's early.
That'll change.
Yeah, that'll change. They're hockey players.
Yep. Even if they like each other, they're going to chirp each other.
Teams did play 4 times during the regular season, so they're familiar.
Yamanovsky on a steal, save made by Leanders on the long drive.
Brantford winning both games here, North Bay winning both games in North Bay, and those games, I believe, were both overtime wins.
Yep.
Yeah, and those 4 games for North Bay, it was Petrie with 3 goals and 3 assists that led them, and then for the Bulldogs, it was Maholtra. He had 2 goals and 8 assists in the 4 games that he played against North Bay, so he's been a bit of a battalion killer this season.
3 of the 4 games, Reed and Troy, 1-goal games as well, with those 2 in North Bay, to be noted, going to overtime.
Are we surprised that Jay McKee and Ryan Houlihan could coach their teams to a virtual draw? As Luca Testa off the left wing side. Bottom of the circle, tries it. Save made by Lisson. Adam Jedicek hopping into the play. Laid off the wall, but taken loose by Kunapaski. Hard stop in his own zone from Owen Protz. Forward to Luca Testa. Had a little trouble getting the handle the way he wanted it, but it won't go for icing. Testa neutralized, just has to launch it with Frasca deep on the play, and the Bulldogs will use it to start a change. Cam Hankai, left side. He'll toss it in for Lisson to handle. Kunapaski, met there by O'Brien. Puck off the wall, Lira Mamedovsky to it. O'Brien shoulder to shoulder with him, digs the puck loose. Hankai along the line for Edison Engel. Engel out front, just away from O'Brien off Harper's stick. O'Brien for Van Acker, tossed it front. That got blocked off. Kunapaski against Luchenko, up the wall. Engel laid it along, bouncing puck. Van Acker, Luchenko out front, wanted. Van Acker was just out front of his reach.
Now Harper might have got a stick on that pass across from Luchenko to Van Acker.
Luchenko hard stop in the corner. Kunapaski right with him. Puck taken on to Shamar Moses, who will go off the wall and out. Edison Engel will gather a neutral ice. Engel decides he's going to fly on to Van Acker. Out front wanted Engel, and Kunapaski saving play as he tied up the Bulldogs defenseman. Van Acker, high slot, save, rebound, Luchenko. Bouncing puck will go in! It's Jet Luchenko's first playoff goal as a Bulldog. And it's a play you'd need to call on a billiards table.
Yeah, this one either went off Lisson or a North Bay defenseman. We'll get a second look here in a moment.
This is bad luck is what it is if you're the Battalion.
But you got to credit Luchenko, right? Goes to the net where the goals are scored. And you're going to see just as this sequence unfolds here. 17 just in front of the net. And I think he just bounces that one off the leg of Kunapaski. From the looks of it. I don't know if you got a good look at that, Troy.
Yeah, perfect look at it. What speed on the half tour of the offensive zone by Van Acker, and then that shot on net, and Lachenko knowing exactly where to go. Flips that over top of Listen.
Cam Warren on the right half wall. Puck below the goal line. Ben Danford scrapes it loose to Caleb Maholtra. To the boards, Cooper Dennis. Dennis will fly ahead. Bronson Ride into the path. Puck is hopped along for Laird. Played back by Danford. Maholtra from the left drops to Bannock. Bannock trying to wheel away from Warren, who was so impressive in that series against the Petes. Dennis off of a leg. Bronson Ride, the recent signee by the Vegas Golden Knights, will play it forward. Pretty nice job by Bronson Ride playing yourself into a contract with Vegas. Find me somebody who wouldn't take that deal. Zach Sandu around the back of the net for Cam Hankai.
Might be a little shell shock going all those years from North Bay to Vegas. A little different environment.
Hey, even if he's in Henderson, he's got golf like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Around the back of the net, Cam Hankai. Forward to Ryder Bolton, on to the right side, Dylan Tischerna. Towards the front of the net, that'll bounce off the end wall. Parker Holmes freed it up, working after Kent Greer. Around the back for Enright, on to Pronin. Batted out of the air by Bolton. Bolton for Holmes. Holmes snaps it, and Listen will make the save and hang on.
It's the longest shift Dylan Tischerna's played in months. After he took a penalty seconds into his first one back, but really good work. Some good work here, though, in all seriousness, by the Bulldog fourth line. As they create an opportunity to get some offensive zone time, and that is exactly what you're looking for. I mean, it's always nice if they chip in a goal, but that fourth line can keep your offensive momentum going. You're going to see Bolton steal a puck here off to Holmes with a good shot on goal, and the Bulldogs get an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, I like Ryder Bolton didn't panic there. He looked for the outlet, got it over the Holmes, who had a better angle, and made a nice shot, and Listen made the big save.
Some size and some grit on that fourth line, Troy.
Owen Protz back to the blue, on to Adam Yedicek. Over from Eric Van Acker on the right side. Van Acker twirls out high, trying to get away from Amidovsky. Flips it back to the blue. Protz, nifty little touch along for Yedicek. I'm not sure if Yedicek was expecting it. Callie tosses to neutral ice, and Protz back on top of it. Jake O'Brien, nice feed around for Van Acker. Wanted Luchenko to the front, blocked off Enright. Takes it to the end wall. Luchenko wins it back. O'Brien out high. Yedicek pulls, fires. Save made by Jack Listen. He will hang on.
Well, the Bulldogs have come out on fuego here in this first period. There are 2 goals, 11 shots to 3 over North Bay, and looks like they're just playing with some urgency, some pace in their game. What we saw a little bit in the first round, though, a couple times, right? They'd get up on Sudbury, then it was almost like they just relaxed. And next thing you know, it was either a 1-goal or a tie game.
Lesson may have been learned, as Charlie Paquette will lean in against Ethan Procession. A couple of veterans. And Paquette gets the draw to Frasca. Frasca off to Sandu. Sandu pulls up from the right point, moving middle. Off to Ben Danford, played it off his skate. Danford down the wall, Frasca. Around the back, Testa. Testa wanted to lay that to the front of the net, but 2 Battalion followed. Puck played loose by Procession, taken away by Frasca, on to Testa again. Testa across the top, Danford to the front, save made by Jack Listen. Wellenreiter has the puck poked loose. Bronson Ride along the wall. Testa takes it. Trying to pull the puck back in was Testa as he was met by Procession. Now Ride and Paquette stack up. You could have that combination on a football field that wouldn't be out of place. Paquette and Manzo collide with one another. Procession up and out. Gervais over the blue. Sandu into him. Gabriel Frasca with a chance to wander onto this puck on the left side.
End of a shift. He was out of gas.
And Kunapaski will take it. Bannock right onto him. This is more pressure on the forecheck from the Bulldogs than we saw in the Sudbury series. Maholtra to Dennis, now to Bannock. Bannock lays it forward. Dennis tried to catch it. Cam Warren took it away. Angle and neutral ice. Rolls it into the offensive zone. Caleb Maholtra. Behind the net, Adam Bannock. Puck flipped on him as he tried to deliver it to the front of the net. Dennis takes it away. Dennis around the back to Malhotra. Wraparound try. Listen got that and guided it away. Parker Vaughn on to Laird. Wanted Warren. That gets blocked off, and Malhotra and Dennis will collect. Malhotra takes enough time to Dennis. Scores! Oh, Caleb Malhotra just lulled them to sleep, and Cooper Dennis bulges the twine. It's 3-0 Bulldogs. Dennis with his second playoff goal.
A real nice move in tight by Cooper Dennis. Puck gets turned over here in the transition game, and there's a little bit of a moment where you wonder if Dennis or Malhotra's going to take it. Malhotra's the one who grabs it. Nice little feather pass through to Dennis, who goes forehand, backhand. 3-0 Bulldogs, 7:09 into this left in this first period.
Yeah, Malhotra picked up that puck just in the neutral zone, and you could see him thinking about what his next move was going to be. And Cooper Dennis went exactly where he wanted him to go and flipped the puck over to him. Just a perfect pass, and the rest was history.
Owen Protz curling back in his own zone. Parker Holmes to Dylan Tashurna. Tashurna rolls the puck ahead and runs through Greer. Bolton from the end wall, out front, just away from Holmes. Adam Yedicek from the top. On to Holmes, down to the right wing corner. Tashurna met there by Aaron Enright. Ryder Bolton off of a body. Holmes will collect it. Holmes to the left point. Protz into the pile. Nice kick save by Lisson. Ryder Carey met by Ryder Bolton.
Protz had the inside post targeted there with that shot, but listen, with a quality stop.
I think came off the blade of his skate. Ryder Bolton over the line. Greer bats that out of the air. Ryder Carey tried to keep it moving. Bolton to Holmes. Holmes holding off Enright. Parker Holmes is so big he could use his back as a drive-in theater. Jake O'Brien after the puck. You like that one?
Made me chuckle.
Ben Danford around the back.
There are no drive-ins in South Mountain, I can tell you that, where Parker Holmes is from.
I sense a business opportunity. Shamar Moses. Met by Merrick Van Acker. Puck will be run down below the goal line, and Ryerson Leanders will steer it around the back. Ryder Cali met by Jet Luchenko. Puck out high. Amidovsky will roll it back below the goal line. Ryder Cali again with pressure to the end wall. Moses out front for Amidovsky. Not sure if it got through to Leanders or if Danford blocked it. Now taken down by Van Acker. He'll toss it forward to O'Brien, working against Ride. O'Brien pulls up, Van Acker following. Van on the shot.
Stick lift, I think, there by Moses on Van Acker, Reed.
And that's why it's so great for the battalion to see Shamar Moses back into this lineup. Only appeared in one game in that first round. Procession, great forecheck pressure, causes the turnover. Save made by Leanders on Gervais.
Well, a bit of a rare giveaway there by the Bulldogs. I think the separation between forward and defense got a little bit wide, and North Bay took advantage and created a good opportunity.
Bulldogs up 3-0. You're watching on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Our first periods, as always, brought to you by our friends at Gerdau Metals Recycling. Faceoff will come to the right of Ryerson Leanders, who made his best stop of this hockey game thus far on Sebastian Gervais right before the break.
Yeah, shots on goal here, 14-3 in favor of Brantford. And sometimes you have a game where it's 14-3, but it doesn't really feel like there's been that many opportunities for Brantford, but it certainly does.
Gunapaski blocked off by Gabriel Frasca. Been adjusted now as well, Troy. 14-5 as the battalion added a couple. Gervais wide for Wellenreiter. That came around the back of the net. And Kunapaski able to knock that down at the blue line. Puck just wiggled out on him.
Yeah, it's 3-0, and don't forget we have a goal that was offside, but that was scored as well by Brantford.
Yeah, Bulldogs have come out a motivated team. Procession hit the outside of the goalpost.
Well, a little extra time off as well, right? With the sweep completed last Thursday. And North Bay went into that double overtime game on Saturday night.
Yeah, North Bay played the equivalent of 8 and a bit games in that first round series. Charlie Paquette schemes wide into the circle. Save made by Lisson. On for Protz, blocked off. Protz holds it again. Ben Danford settles it, fires it from the left point, and Jack Lisson will hang on with 4 minutes left on the clock in the opening frame.
Yeah, right now the Bulldogs are taking middle ice, and North Bay is giving it to them. If they're going to continue this, this could be bad news for North Bay right now, because Brantford's just taking everything down the middle. You saw that Charlie Paquette just skate right down Main Street and get that shot on Lisson. He's had to be the difference for them here in this first period.
Absolutely no doubt there will be some adjustments made by Ryan Holohan and company. Caleb Maholtra kicks that off the wall. Laird laying it back for Enright. Puck up and out. Edison Engel guiding it on to the left. Wanted Banach, a little bit too much on it. That'll run for...
So I've covered Ryan Holohan, the coach, and I remember covering Ryan Holohan, the captain of the Brampton Battalion.
That wasn't an icing. I'm a little bit confused. But yes, continue.
No, I'm feeling a little old at the moment.
Cooper Dennis on his forehand. Blocked off. Banach follows. Blocked again. Engel onto the right side. Dennis out high. Adam Banach to Cam Hankai. Towards the front of the net. That'll skip wide of goal. Engel lays it along. Banach able to bat that down. Playing it on to Maholtra out front. Great stop there by Lisson. Maholtra again scores! Caleb Maholtra is having an otherworldly playoff. That is 12 points. This is his 5th game.
And he doesn't turn 18 until June. Just to step right in from the word go and not looked out of place, and has been one of the top players, certainly one of the top young players in the Ontario Hockey League. And Caleb Maholtra's just going to drift in a little pocket of space here. Puck's going to come back to him off the play from Hankai, I believe. And he buries it to make it 4-0 with 3:09 to go.
Yeah, and that illustrates North Bay and how they're vacating middle ice there, giving Brantford all kinds of opportunities. You just can't give that guy that much room there.
No, and untouched, really. Troy in a prime scoring position as well. He's sitting there in that home plate area that you hear coaches talk about.
Parker Holmes up ahead of the play. Around the back of the net, past Kunapaski. Wanted Yedicek out high. That got blocked down. Kunapaski forward. Carey blocked off by Protz. But send it in a second time. Adam Yedicek.
Saying that's an unassisted goal, but I thought there was a pass across from Hankai. We'll wait and see.
May have come off the stick of a battalion defender. Yedicek pauses around back of his own goal.
I'm just lobbying for Hankai here.
Hey, I mind all seen him get one added on. I'm just going off the replay.
I know, I hear you.
Tisherna as it flipped up and out. Sandu back along to Holmes to Bolt. This is the 4th line that the Bulldogs envisioned having this season. Play physical, eat minutes, and due to injuries, illnesses, different things that occurred during the season, it's been a rare sight. So the Bulldogs happy to have it back together.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Well, it's all coming up roses in the first period. As Jake O'Brien pursues the puck, Shamar Moses to the wall. Ben Danford catches that down, and it will be rolled back in deep where Zach Sandu finds it. Van Acker on to Jake O'Brien. O'Brien tried to flip that on to Luchenko. Bronson rides telephone pole in the way. Van Acker out front. O'Brien scores. Jake O'Brien all alone to the front of the net. And the captain makes it 5. It's O'Brien's first goal of the playoffs, his 8th point.
And this line has been on point since their first shift. And we talked about that one goal Luchenko scored where Merrick Van Acker went on a tour of the offensive zone. And here you're going to see a little bit more of their wizardry. It's going to be O'Brien who's going to start the rush and just goes to the net. And his puck's going to find him, and he just a little sleight of hand there to tap that in by Lisson and make it 5-0. Troy, they look like they're playing at a pace and a gear that is really hard to match at the moment, that top line.
Puck sent into the Bulldog zone as Ryerson Leaders will guide that around. Charlie Paquette, first man after it. Paquette to the end boards. Gabriel Frasca around the back of the net. Frasca laid it low. Procession into the path. Testa with a steal. Luca Testa off the left side. Save made by Lisson. Puck out front. It'll be guided away by Greer onto Wellenreiter.
Van Acker and Danford with the assists on the Jake O'Brien goal.
It's going to be Jet Luchenko.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Yep. Somebody saw 77 and it was 17.
Yeah. Laird, forward. Wellenreiter, right wing side. Wellenreiter to the middle of the ice. Swept loose. Adam Banach to go the other way. Banach off the left, attacking Greer. Around the outside, Banach around the back of the net. Feeds Yudacek for a bomb, and that one blockered away by Lisson. Puck bounced right back to the front of the net, kind of the luck Jack Lisson's had in this first period. Cam Warren shoveled wide by Owen Protz. Around the back, Parker Vaughn guiding it wide. Harper below the goal line. Protz over top of the puck. Off of a leg, Yudacek forward to Banach, and he will kick it through neutral ice, and the best period of the playoffs for the Brantford Bulldogs will end with a 5-0 lead. Norm, they outshoot the Battalion by a 19-5 margin.
Yeah, everything was coming up Bulldog in that first period, and you throw in the disallowed goal that was offside, and that came a minute 23 in, and the Bulldogs just firing on all cylinders in that first period of play, and that was a tough one for the Battalion. They will regroup and see what they can come out with here in this second period.
Another stat to put on the radar through the Bulldogs' last 40 minutes of play. Third period of game 4,
right.
First period of game 1, they've allowed just 7 shots on goal. We'll hit the break. The Bulldogs a 5-0 lead through 20 minutes in game 1 of this Eastern Conference semifinal you're watching on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
The Quintessence Coalition brings you immersive experiences and conscious collaborations from artists across the country. Don't miss the sights, sounds, and spirits of the Quintessence Coalition. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Our intermission interviews are brought to you by our friends at Ensure Home Comfort. Feel right at home. And our Laura Kitchen is down on the North Bay bench with a young man who has an incredibly bright future in the OHL. It's Cam Warren. Laura, take it away.
Thank you, Reed. It's been 20 minutes. What have you liked about what your team's done so far?
I don't know. We've made a lot of mistakes so far this game that have cost us against a very good team. We're going to have to pick it up if we're going to want to get someone back in this game.
It's your first season in the OHL. In the first round, you picked up 5 points. How do you carry that into this next round here?
Yeah, I just try to do my best to help the team. Not doing a very good job of that right now, so I got to be a lot better.
Again, you're down. What's the mindset and the message going into the next two?
Yeah, just trying to regroup. I mean, do the best we can to show a fight in this game. Just do our best to try to get back into it.
Good luck in the next two. Bulldogs hockey will be back on Rogers TV after a short break.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions TV Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9.
And we're off like a herd of turtles. Holy sugar roll 29.
Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way. Please join us, 8 o'clock every Monday, right here on Rogers TV.
Giovanni Petiti has killer monologues, great local guests who have too much talent for national late night, and this show's got high energy. Bills. It's the show TV critics are saying is just like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, if you ordered it on Temu. So join me Sundays at 9 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hey, I've seen your social calendar. What else do you got to do, huh? Nice.
Shot by Clayton, and it comes back to the Wolves side. Gonchar will skate around the man, get a shot, he scores!
What do we say? Needed a big game for the Sudbury Wolves. Rowan Henderson, number 77, in front, and a big goal gets the scoring started. What a play by Gonchar at the blue line. Just to step around and then head up the whole way. Henderson gets to the front of the net and he scores. That's his first to the postseason.
Long pass over on that left-hand side. Drop pass to number 23, Charlie Paquette, a shot. And there is Bronis again with a big stop. 2 seconds left in this minor penalty. Quick shot and Bronis makes the stop and then falls on the rebound, a hole for a faceoff.
Well, Gary, when you score on 34% of your power play attempts, the second power play unit doesn't get a whole lot of time out
with it. Ovan's going to intercept this one. Will cut to his right, leaves it for Nemec. Shot over. Ovan was there, but they couldn't get it through a bunch of bodies. And there's another stop by Leenders as he was on the seat of his pants and let that one go.
Finn Gurns with a couple of really nice shots from the points. Leenders had to be sharp on that first one. Watch it from the point.
Gavin Ewells, long shot, glove stopped by Bronis. And another face-off coming up.
Awesome job by the Wolves to get back and force Van Acker a little bit to the outside. He's still got that wonderful shot.
Bremer's got a quick shift. Here's Frasca dropping it for Paquette. In front and tipped in. by Luca Testa to tie this game up at 1.
What a beautiful find going backdoor. It's what the Wolves wanted to take away in game number 3, and for the most part, they did it. They could not do it there. Just a little window in behind. Watch this beautiful pass from the Paquette right on to Testa. The Wolves late getting back. It's his 3rd of the postseason.
Losing the draw, getting it back was O'Brien with it. Little drop pass to Juracek. Into the corner, out in the slot, quick shot. And they clean it up nicely and get it down the ice.
Yeah, O'Brien wanted that one back. Look at this right on the doorstep. And Malhotra, not sure why he lifted the stick up. Maybe wanted more of a shooting lane.
Nice little workaround play by the Bulldogs. Get the shot. Doesn't go on the net, however. Little backhand pass allowed to be on front, and they score. And that's Edison Engel was allowed to walk in free and give Brantford the lead for the first time in the game.
Edison Engel made some amazing defensive plays in this game and just had 3 goals on the regular season.
For them coming into it next year. Now the ceremonial handshakes as everybody says, hey, good luck in the next round and good series and what have you.
It was a very clean series as well, right? There was other than game 2.
Trofsky, Walton, far side, back door!
Ula skates around, one wide open net, and they can't get it in as it was Leenders coming across and grabbing that one.
Bruzevich, quick shot off the blocker. The payload, it was right in front of the net. I believe George got a piece of that. He's going to leave it there, bit of miscommunication. Oh no! What a stop by Jovanovski! Holy cow! Play in the defensive zone. Lots of traffic in front. Through traffic. Rebound right there. Snyder, what a save by Fedorov.
Well, great play by Williams just to get that puck through.
As conflict escalates in the Middle East, millions of people are in urgent need of food, water, shelter, and medical care. Humanitarian coalition members are moving fast to deliver aid in Lebanon, Syria, and across the region. But we need your support to save even more lives. Donate now at together.ca. Your donation can help families caught in the Middle East emergency. That's together.ca, the humanitarian coalition. Together, saving more lives.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, you know that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Real men would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run.
I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
No! No!
Just get her into the boat. No!
Chloe? Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box Brantford Bulldogs Playoff Hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. We'll take a look with our friends from Canaley Construction Law what's coming up later on this week. We're the only game in action to open up round 2 tonight. Tomorrow night, the Ottawa 67s and Barrie Colts will get underway, and oh buckle up for that one. Expected to be fast, physical, and a whole lot of fun. And then on Friday night, things really get going in earnest. The Sioux Greyhounds and the Kitchener Rangers, the Flint Firebirds and the Windsor Spitfires, and the Bulldogs and the Battalion for Game 2. We'll be back. Norm, Troy, myself will go around the horn when we return to Big Steel Box Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV. Thank you.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
My name is Aaron from Monster Heat on YouTube, and if you love extreme challenges like I do, then you'll get to witness some of this. See, over here at Monster Heat, we do it all, and you can watch it all on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Reed, Norm back with you up top. Norm will take a look at the first period to see how the Bulldogs got out to that 5-0 lead. It was a disallowed goal that started things off, and then the Bulldogs just never got off the front foot.
Yeah, they ended up with a power play opportunity shortly after that goal was disallowed, which I think we're going to see here in a moment. This was Jet Luchenko turned out to be offside in that play. That came a minute 20 so in. Bulldogs going to power play, and basically 30-40 seconds later, and they cash in.
16 seconds into the power play, Yedicek from the line. O'Brien's loose, and then Caleb Malhotra continues what's been a wild start to his playoff career.
Yeah, and just real good body position that he's able to hold off the defenseman and bang in that rebound. And then Jet Luchenko in the right spot, bounces that one in off a leg. That kind of sums up how that first period went in for the Battalion. Bulldogs again, Malhotra, the maestro here, setting up Dennis. Lucky little finish there on the back end.
Cam Hankai forced into duty tonight, starting the playoff, and then Adam Banak with a little bit of fun down low.
Yeah, and it just pinballs around. It comes back to, okay, Hankai didn't touch that at all. Right off a Battalion giveaway. And Malhotra cashes in. And then, again, Bulldogs attacking with pace here. It's going to be Jake O'Brien, who's going to end up on the end of this play and just stick on the ice, go to the net, bangs it home.
We'll take a look at our scoring summary for period number one, brought to you by West Brant Window World and Ladies Who Lead. And in that first period, all Bulldogs, as you'll see, Caleb Malhotra from Jake O'Brien and Adam Yedicek, Jet Luchenko from Merrick Van Acker and Edison Engel, Cooper Dennis from Caleb Malhotra. Caleb Malhotra's second, his seventh of the playoffs. That came at 16:51. The Bulldogs struck with one more before the period was out. That one coming off the stick of the captain, Jake O'Brien, from Jet Luchenko and Merrick Van Acker.
We just had to hit page down on the graphic. We're
hit
Carry on.
Keep going, keep on going. Shots 19-5 in that first period. Wanted to bring Troy in here at our intermission because, Troy, we've covered this team all season long from up here. One of the things that Norm and I noticed was the pace the Bulldogs were playing with in that first period. I think that might be the best period the Bulldogs have played since this team all came together.
Yeah, absolutely. Forechecking wise, putting the puck to open areas, their guys skating to open areas, winning puck battles, taking middle ice, taking advantage of middle ice. And yeah, you may be right, Reed. That's the best period I think we've seen them play all season.
Now, the question, Norm, is how do they hold this moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you heard Cam Warren, who did that interview with our Laura Kitchen there, and he talked about regrouping. And I think the focus for them will be, all right, let's just see if we can win the next few shifts and really kind of can we ultimately come out and win this period. And what the Bulldogs just have to be mindful of, just keep that pace going forward, keep up what you're doing, because if you've got an opportunity here just to strangle this game completely and make it a little easier on yourself in the third. And then certainly the biggest thing you want to do is come out of this one clean.
We'll head down to ice level, but Troy, as we do, what's the sense like between the benches right now?
Well, very confident on the Bulldog side, and North Bay, who hasn't, by the way, had a goal scored against them in the second period in the playoffs so far, they've got pretty good spirits over here. They really think they can get back into this one, and who knows? Like I said, they've outscored teams in this second period, and you got to give them a chance here.
Mike McIver now in between the pipes for the North Bay Battalion. Bulldogs well familiar with McIver. He was brilliant in the playoff series last year.
Yeah, it was the battalion starter last year and was eclipsed this year by the play of Jack Lyson.
Shamar Moses up and out of the zone. Zach Sandu will stride back over to the puck.
Lyson was the backup last year. They just flipped roles this year.
Jack Lyson, a 15th round pick. That might be the best use of a 15th round pick of all time.
It's up there.
Parker Vaughn poking the puck into the offensive zone. Zach Sandu forward. Marek Van Acker twirls it around the end wall. Jet Luchenko around the back for Jake O'Brien. O'Brien chased to the wall. Yedicek from the line. Save McIver. Oh, Van Acker tried to pull that puck under the bar, and it just got a little too high. Adam Yedicek back in his own zone. Puck will be played out of the air by O'Brien. Wanted to guide that wide. O'Brien will get it back. Navigating the top of the right circle, feeding it on to Owen Protz. Back to Adam Yedicek. Yedicek with a step wide. A look towards the front for O'Brien. Chipped it wide of the goal. Bulldogs have come out with the same pace here in the second period.
Yeah, no let up so far.
Van Acker wide to O'Brien, right wing side. O'Brien's drive, save made by McIver.
First save of this period from McIver.
Van Acker twists that back into the offensive zone. McIver wheels it to the wall. Good weight to get it on to Enright, and the puck poked down the rink by Parker Vaughn. Owen Protz steals it ahead for Adam Banach. Banach along to Marek Van Acker. Van Acker around the back, Caleb Maholtra. For Banach, left corner. Banach against the grain. What a flip out high to Engel. Right onto his tape. Blocked off to the front of the net. Weird bounce. It's guided away from the front.
No, the old Zamboni door down bounce.
Wow, that's the way that the night has gone thus far for the Battalion, though. It's Dennis's drive. McIver still without a stick. Bronson Ride met by Banach. Engel across the ice. Dennis let it run. Amidovsky, who's a great skater, will pull the puck loose. Forward to Laird. Engel back. Save made by Leanders. Cam Warren pulls the puck loose. Laird after it. Puck chipped away. Amidovsky from the right wing side. Caleb Maholtra presses him to the wall. Cam Hankai back on top of it. Around to Caleb Maholtra. Maholtra up and out to Cooper Dennis. Dennis fires. Save made by McIver as he used Konopasky as a screen. Cronin wide for Harper. Dubravtsev the next man. Dubravtsev will poke that below the goal line. Adam Yedicek runs it around. Konopasky kept that alive. Dennis, rink wide. Parker Holmes. Had Tisherna going middle. Harper stole that loose, and Dubravtsev will knock it out of the zone. Yedicek for Protz, just behind Bolton. That's going to have enough on it to run for icing. 16-13 to play in the second period.
You know, one of the things I think that you look back in that first period and how many times, Reed and Troy, have we seen in playoff hockey where one team comes off the sweep, the other team comes off after a 6 or 7 game series, and you think, oh, the well-rested team should be ready to go. And in fact, they're not in the first period and sometimes find themselves down. But the Bulldogs have just kept that pace up right from the start.
A malaise, perhaps, at times. Bulldogs have not had that problem thus far.
Well, and a lot of time that team coming off the longer series, they're still kind of riding off the high, right, of that big win, especially if it's a 6 or 7 gamer.
Well, the battalion did such an incredible job on the top gunners for the Peterborough Petes. I know a lot of talk that Adam Novotny was playing injured, but he was shut down in that series. Kieran Walton held the 3 goals, 2 of them overtime winners. But they limited the damage that the top guys for Peterborough did, and the battalion just overwhelmed them with depth.
Yeah, didn't see it in the first period just based on the way the Bulldogs played, but this is a really structured, well-organized battalion team.
Adam Jedicek from the blue line away from Cronin, catches again and scores! Adam Jedicek, brilliant in the first series for the Bulldogs. His 3rd of the playoffs, his 2nd point of the game, 6-0.
You talk to people around the league and you always hear the names like Kayshawn Aitchison on defense, but I would put Adam Jedicek up there with Aitchison or any other defenseman from an offensive impact point of view. Just watch this play here. The puck's going to come back to him and just a little whoop, steps in, wrist shot through the crowd, 6-0.
Yeah, that change of direction, that's next level.
I think you owe Chris Berman a quarter for the whoop.
I'm just glad my voice didn't crack.
That's why I'm not doing it. As Moses guiding it on to Aaron Enright.
And guys, don't forget, that was some hard work by that 4th line again. And they've been a real benefit to the Bulldogs, not only so far in game 1, but this whole series.
Leanders came out to play that puck and got clipped. He had to wait for it to come into the trapezoid before he could play it, and he was none too pleased.
Bulldogs are not going to be overly happy about that. I don't think there was any intent there from Nick Wellenreiter. I think he was trying to guide away from the goal itself. Jay McKee at the Bulldogs bench is saying to the officials, keep a watch on contact on the goaltender. Face-off violation warning as Frasca and Cali will square off. Enright from the line, guides it wide. Danford tried to bat it loose. Gabriel Frasca after it. Ryder Cali looked to A-frame. Frasca ran it away, it's up the wall. Paquette battling it with Vaughn. Gervais able to find it, stepped down on the left side, missed wide. Bulldogs closed on him quickly.
Yeah, Gervais trying to go short side there and just ran out of real estate, as you say, Reed.
Enright wide to Vaughn, who's a great shooter. Handled there by Leanders. Cali pulls up right side. To the blue line is Greer. Puck skips around the back. Charlie Paquette.
Yeah, Vaughn 4 goals in that first round in 6 games. Former Barry Cole first round pick.
Puck guided to the front, kicked away by Leanders. Yeah, last year when the battalion made 2 moves with the Colts, they got their previous 2 first round picks. Jamar Moses and Parker Vaughn. Vaughn with it now, to the left, Gervais. Gervais to the outside of the left circle, and that's a souvenir, heads up. 13:45 left in the middle frame. Bulldogs with a 6-0 lead. You're watching on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Talked about the great broadcast crew up in North Bay earlier on. Also listening in tonight on his drive to Barrie, the great radio voice of the Ottawa 67s, the man who can outdress me, and I'm wearing purple velvet.
Right.
Kenny Walls. As Bronson Ride from the left point.
Kenny has an array of suits that are rather impressive.
He can join me on the Piano Man tour anytime he wants.
You guys could do a duet.
Oh, I'm sure that's what everybody wants, yeah. Well, one of the really good guys around the Ontario Hockey League is Kenny Walls. Lyra Mamedovski carries wide to the right side. For the corner, back to the blue line. Manzo fires off of a body. Cam Hankai up ahead to Jet Luchenko. Luchenko catches it down. Jake O'Brien just managed to stay onside. Puck won back by Warren. Through the middle of the ice to the right wing over the blue line. Amidovsky down to the corner. Luchenko got a backhand to it. Warren was next. Comes out middle of the line. Manzo stick. Snaps in half. Jake O'Brien off the right. Towards the front. Van Acker closing. Save made by McIver. O'Brien down to the right wing corner. Along the goal line. Fed it out front. Poke back to the line. Hankai's drive. Deflected wide of the net. Van Acker and Manzo in a battle in front. Puck poke to the blue. Get a check from the right point.
Manzo without a stick.
Hey, he's been without it since it snapped as he tried to take a shot. Bronson Ride will collect to his defensive right wing corner and will lob it up and out.
You got one of Amidovsky's stick who's now gone for the change. Now Manzo can as well.
Prone and off the skate of Luchenko forward. Now to the center circle, Malhotra. Guiding to the left, all the way to the corner. Along the goal line, his backhand deflected up and over the top, and
too many men. There's 5 Bulldogs in the ice, and I saw the 6th player, I didn't catch who, one of the forward, just going for the change.
Take a look here as Manzo's stick shatters, and it created the 2-on-2 the other way, or 2-on-1.5. Manzo had good body position, but no stick. No, Bulldogs the penalty kill for the second time in the game.
Yeah, the 0 is up on the board for a bench penalty, so I don't know if you caught that, Troy, but it looked like too many men on the ice to me.
Yeah, that's one of the only areas in the ice I can't see is down at the other end of the Bulldogs bench.
Totally fair, yeah.
That was a forward, definitely.
So an opportunity here for the battalion to get a little bit of life.
Yeah, the second power play of the game. They were unsuccessful clear the first time, since they have a 0 beside their name on the scoreboard. But it's a good-looking power play. They have some good talent, especially with somebody like Kent Greer quarterbacking it.
Who's got it now? Backside, fed on to Wellenreiter across the front. Procession couldn't find it. Hard bounce off the right corner wall. Greer whacks it around the back, left corner. Wellenreiter to the outside of the left circle, taking it on the half wall. Below the goal line, Procession playing it right back to Wellenreiter across the front. Save made by Leenders. Puck whacked away from the front of the Bulldogs' net. Left point, Greer into the pile. Looking for a deflection. It did hit something before clattering off the end wall, but the Bulldogs find it first and clear. 1:05 left in the too many men penalty. Being served by Adam Banach. As the puck carted down off the wall, Cali, left circle, pulls high, along the line, right point, Vaughn walks down, and that's blocked off Bratz and up and out of play.
You just see, I mean, the Bulldogs in that first penalty kill unit are able to roll over the boards, 2 overagers and 2 2006, 2 19-year-olds on that penalty kill. And, you know, not that the players on the North Bay side aren't talented, but it's just, it's the age difference. You've got a couple of 2 or 3 17-year-olds out there, and Greer and Cali, really talented players, but Bulldogs just that little bit heavier. And again, tip snacks again.
That was Parker Vaughn's stick.
Speaking of younger players, 17-year-old, 2008 born.
Vaughn on to Debratsev, former captain of the U-17 St. Petersburg squad in Russia. Talk about a legendary program. Vaughn, down low, bumpered to the front by Gervais. Taken loose, Malhotra on to Cooper Dennis, who will challenge shorthanded. Dennis off to the right side, long drive, McIver, shoulder stop.
Troy will often talk about that experience. We call it the Izzy between the three of us, but how experience can really factor into long-term success in the regular season and playoffs.
Even in full, 5-on-5. Danford chipped it loose. Dennis up the wall to Bannock, 3-on-2 forward. Bannock at Ride, on to Dennis, creates the short 2-on-1. Dennis to the front of the backhand, saved by McIver.
Dennis just walked right in there. Troy talked about middle ice, and it just opened right up for him.
Troy, we're seeing the Bulldogs get real crafty into the offensive zone, but that middle ice has been available too much at this point.
Yeah, Bulldogs know they can go time and again, and they've been looking for some cross-seam passes as well. Some longer passes in this second period from the Bulldogs. And unfortunately, on that last power play for North Bay, they weren't able to get anything going. But like you said, the heavy kill that the Bulldogs had out there were just too much for that power play for North Bay.
Tashurna, Bolton, and Holmes back on the ice. Dylan Tashurna, an assist in his return to the lineup. He and Ryder Bolton assisting on the Adam Yedicek goal. As Bronson Ride will send it around the back. Leanders bats it along to Edison Engel. Parker Holmes off the wall. Laird guiding that wide. And Bolton will flip it high and out. Holmes steps into Manzo just inside the blue line. Battalion do get control of the puck. Engel off the wall. Carey kept it alive. To the blue. Manzo was just behind it. Had to leave it behind. Parker Holmes and Wall. Bronson Ride spins it around the back. Puck gets kicked along for Shamar Moses. To Bronson Ride on the right wing. Ride's long drive. Laid aside by Ryerson Leanders. Shamar Moses from the corner wall. Tried to play it back out to the top. And Kudapaski will take it back into his own zone. Ethan Procession, left wing. Swept away by Edison Engel. Procession able to get it right back. Kudapaski from the left point. Head up, walking along the line into the pile. Glove save made by Ryerson Leanders. He'll hang on with 8:46 to play in the middle frame.
Well, you talked a moment ago about Kenny Wall as the voice of the Ottawa 67s, and of course they are getting ready to open up against the Barrie Colts tomorrow night. Colts won that Central Division and have the second seed at 99 points. The 67s actually had one more point than the Colts during the regular season. They had 100 points. One of 300-point teams in the Ontario Hockey League this year. Brantford, Ottawa, and Kitchener was the third at 101 points. So that one will be very interesting, and I think that's, they call that a coin toss, that kind of series.
That's going to be a fun series.
And then a lot of eyes out west with, we'll be talking about this later, but Windsor and Flint finishing 97 and 95 points, battling for that division all year long.
And Flint coming out in the first round with the destruction of the Owen Sound attack.
35-3, they outscored them.
Charlie Paquette moving forward. We got a pile up in behind the play. Zach Sandu and Ethan Procession went to the wall. And it looks like Sandu is going to go for a hold.
Bulldogs will go back onto the penalty kill here.
Sandu does not appear overly enthused about the call, but will...
Hey, we're going to look down here from our corner camera. There's that bear hug that you talked about a little bit, Reed, when players go into the corner, but there it results in a holding call.
Yeah, I don't mind that, and it's better than hitting from behind.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like that's the bear hug will take.
Wellenreiter, left circle. Waits out high for a drive. Caught off of a skate on the way through. Oh, and Broad's heavy hit on Warren.
That's why Reed is an advocate for the bear hug.
I got hit from behind one too many times. Kent Greer. Procession kicked away by Leanders. Nice stop on the pinball flipper by Leanders. Dennis wanted it back to Maholtra. Nice back check from Wellenreiter.
Really well worked though to just find Procession just in that little spot of space there. We got a good shot off.
Wellenreiter off the right side, saved by Leanders. And that time he'll hang on. 1:18 left in the penalty kill.
Well, Wellenreiter, who joined the battalion last year, has has had a good season this year, finishing second on that team in scoring during the regular season, 56 points in 68 games, right behind Ethan Procession, who had 59 points.
Wellenreiter, a bit of a traveler from Waterdown, but played with the BK Selects. Going on to Sherwood Park, Salmon Arm, and the Coquitlam Express in the BCHL. Committed to the University of Maine, which is the alma mater of Bulldogs assistant coach Vince Lace.
Yeah, and speaking of Bears, the Black Bears.
That's right.
And bear hugs. Which is what you'd call it after they score.
Oh, Lord. Walked right into that one.
Bring it all around, perfect symmetry.
Jeez. Dubravtsev, I couldn't have set that one on a tee any better. Bouncing puck. Parker Vaughn brings it down off the right side. Amidovsky to the top and Harper. Harper back on for Vaughn. Harper middle of the line. Dubravtsev left circle. Harper middle. Right side with pace was Vaughn. Pass blocked off by Jet Luchenko. Luchenko will steal the puck, and with the head up, will clear it all the way down the rink.
Looking for Gabriel Frasca on that breakout was Luchenko, but just the poise. He intercepts that pass and then just takes a moment to make sure that he can.
Dubravtsev straight down the middle of the ice, just missed wide.
Put a dent in the boards.
That was a heavy shot. O'Brien around the back. Ben Danford. We'll have a look up. Danford wearing the cage after a little bit of friendly fire in practice.
If there was a sponsor with an eye in their sign, he would have dotted it to Dubravtsev with that shot.
I think he did leave a mark. Vaughn drops it around to the left corner.
Good kill by the Bulldogs, though.
Shamar Moses out high, playing it on to Bronson Ride left. Kicked away by Leanders. Get a check. High lob, Banach waiting for it, bats it down. Banach will move off the right side. Bronx skate the stick, backdoor Van Acker. Couldn't get it on the first touch and allowed McIver across. Get a check from the right corner onto Banach, right along the goal line, fed it up front, scores! Luca Testa. Or was it? This may have been off the Battalion defender again. Yeah, it looks like Adam Banach is the one being congratulated for the goal. If it's Banach, it'll be his second of the postseason.
Take a look here in our replay, and again, it's Banach. Gets the offensive set started off a long pass from Adam Juracek. And he's going to walk out here. He's going to look out front, and yeah, I think they might have hit right skate. Testa did not lead the handshake line.
And that's not the first time we've seen Banach do that. From odd angles, off of skating in, opposition skating in.
Crafty.
He's proven to be a magician with the puck. Enright at the blue line. His toss to the front, save made by Leanders, rolling puck. Dubravtsev, he tried a bank shot. Puck rolled wide of the net. From the left corner, Dubravtsev to the blue line. He'll get it back, left circle, fires. Save made by Leanders, he'll hang on.
Well, they've announced Luca Testa here in the building, so on that goal. It will be Testa's fourth in the playoffs.
5:36 left to play in the second period. Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead in Game 1 of this Eastern Conference semifinal.
The kitchen brings the whole family together, and Progressive Countertop can help you create your favorite gathering space with beautiful, quality stone surfaces made to last. Bring design to the surface with Progressive Countertop, now open in Brantford.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Our second period, as always, brought to you by our friends at Waste Connections Canada. Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead in Game 1 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series.
Yeah, and I'm not sure any of us saw this coming. I mean, the Bulldogs and Battalion during the regular season, 26-point differential. Bulldogs won the first time they played here at TD Civic Center, 7-2, and then there was 2 overtime and a 1-goal game after that.
Puck batted down by Ryder Bolton, who skims it around the back glass. Harper from behind the net, taken away by Parker Holmes, tossed it out front, deflected wide, and Arseny Pronin will get to the puck.
Members of all 4 Bulldog lines have points here tonight.
Dubrovtsev tossed there by Parker Holmes.
With that goal by Tester Reed and Troy.
Thrown it up and out of the zone, pursued by Dennis. Curls over the Bulldogs line, a stride out to his left. Taken away by Edison Engel, but taken back by Dubrovtsev. From a sharp angle, Leenders held him off. Adam Banach starting ahead, working at Bronson Ride. Flips it on to Cooper Dennis. Dennis for Malhotra out front, right back through the crease.
Dennis looking to play provider there to Malhotra, who's got 2 in this game.
Adam Banach and Bronson Ryder just going after one another. And I don't mean like after the play or after the whistle, just during play, they're bouncing off of one another every time. Banach from below the goal line, centers. Bouncing puck, laid back to Ben Danford, backside Dennis. Oh, what a glove stop by Mike McIver. Oh, that was pretty. Mike McIver comes splitting out and steals one from Cooper Dennis. Troy, you had to have had a great look at that.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on Cooper Dennis's face. I believe that was his 8th shot of the game. That was number 8. He leads all Bulldogs on shots on goal in this one. Looking for goal number 2 here.
Yeah, he is. You're bang on, Troy. 8 shots. Caleb Malhotra is 6 in this game. 2 of them combined 14 shots on goal.
Puck forward, Danford chips it loose. Raska tosses it around the back. Bulldogs with 32 shots on goal. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the second period. Gabriel Frasca below the goal line. Fed it out to the side of the net and Testa. Taken loose and twirled up and out of the zone. Moses pursues Danford. D to D, Zach Sandu. Puck stuck on him. That allowed Wellenreiter forward. Danford won it back. Procession up on Sandu, who takes the contact, rolled it up the wall. Bounced back towards the front of the net. Procession couldn't get the bouncing puck to sit. Now Moses with a try. Cut around back of the goal. Wellenreiter backing out, middle of the line and right. Indirect off the end boards, and Ryerson Leenders says, hey, look what I found.
Can of corn. Leenders catching a pop-up in short right field.
Fielded that better than the Red Sox infield.
Oh yeah, you guys are having a tough go.
Series win over the Brewers, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's nice. Blue Jays winning today over the Dodgers, and sorry for somebody's recorded the game who's watching this, but didn't want to hear that. But a much needed, like a desert needed rain, the Blue Jays after losing 6 straight. Get on the winning side with a 4-3 win over the new Evil Empire.
Yeah, it's okay, I recorded it.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I knew it. I knew something was going to happen.
It's all right. You already got 6 notifications on your phone. Who are you kidding?
That dinging you hear in the background is Troy's electronics. Kunapaski around the back of the net.
You caught me.
Lyra Mamedovsky to the right side.
Are they the new Evil Empire now, the Dodgers? I mean, it was the Yankees for years.
I mean, as a Red Sox fan, you still want to beat the Yankees more than anybody, but at this point, the Dodgers almost using an entire country as a farm system. Never seen that before.
Played their backup catcher the other night, and he hit 2 home runs. And they put All-Star Will Smith back in the next 2.
Oh, yeah. Ho-hum, here's Will Smith.
Go out and sign the top free agent in Kyle Tucker, the top closer in Edwin Diaz.
Oh, Aroldis Chapman does exist, you know.
Yeah.
There's Jet Luchenko in for the... I got to have something, right? I got Crochet and Chapman and Roman Anthony. Puck around the back of the net. O'Brien steers it middle. Van Acker's drive blockered away by McIver.
Good thing for both our teams. Nobody's running away and hiding yet in the American League. I think there was only 3 teams over 500 as of yesterday.
Good point. Jake O'Brien up ahead.
It's early.
It's very early. Luchenko from the middle of the line, backside O'Brien out front, wanted Van Acker. Kunapaski guided that away. Luchenko to O'Brien, spins off of Harper. O'Brien out front, wanted Van Acker. I believe McIver got a piece of that on the way through. Bronson Ride's stick is, or pardon me, Kunapaski's stick is broken. Say, it can't be Ride. That wasn't a telephone pole laying on the ice. There's Bronson Ride. Ben Danford from deep in his own zone, tried it from Eric Van Acker. Puck all the way down the rink will be icing as Ride got into Van Acker, and Ryder Bolton didn't appreciate it, and they'll just stare at one another, and that'll be all.
Yeah, Ride 6'7", 212.
Between Bronson Ride and Alexander Karmanov, do the North Bay Battalion have the league's 2 longest sticks?
That is a fine question, and I would hazard a guess yes. If I had to put $5 down right now, I would go with a yes. Troy, would you go with a yes as well?
Put me down for a yes.
There you go. I don't know if anybody's going to take the other side of that bet, just so you know.
I can't imagine. I mean, we know Karmanov the longest stick. If I sat on your shoulders, we wouldn't be as big as Karmanov's stick. Vaughn's drive, blocked off by Danford. That one stung the Bulldogs defenseman. Puck back to the blue, Ride into the pile. Blocked again by Ben Danford.
Got a stinger. And of course, puck comes right to him.
7-0 game, and Ben Danford's blocking shots at the front of the Bulldogs net.
He went to back-to-back OHL finals for a reason with Oshawa, having players like him and Zach Sandu.
Toronto Maple Leafs fans, be excited. Dylan Teixeira rolls it forward.
There's not much excited about, so we'll take it.
Parker Vaughn on the end wall against Edison Engel. Vaughn kept that alive at the blue. Blocked off again by Danford. 3 on this shift.
Just one a general manager is.
Enright's drive, glove down by Ryerson Leaders.
Not going to trade with the Bruins. I'm curious if that'll be an interview question.
Kyle Dubas didn't.
No, it's true. Look where it got him. 9 straight playoffs seasons.
You're telling me you're not a fan of the Minton, Vashek, Blenar, and potentially first-round pick for Brandon Carlo?
Let's give it time.
Well, Ryder Bolton and Bronson Ride have had a bit of a chat here.
Giving us some foreshadowing, Troy?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bronson Ride's that kind of guy, but
I don't know that if you're North Bay, you want Bronson Ride unavailable for 5 minutes.
No. They already have some defensive issues right now.
Ride can chuck them. We've seen it in the past.
Yeah, 68 penalty minutes during the season. Session led the battalion with 94.
Yeah, they had a spirited chirp back and forth here as Bolton went to the bench.
Battalion were these teams are 13th and 14th during the regular season in penalty minutes. Battalion at 10.79 minutes per game. The Bulldogs at 10.62.
Well, Ethan Procession, that is a player who, when we talk about prospects and futures, he does not get talked about nearly enough. Ethan Procession is going to be a pro for a long, long time. The Anaheim Ducks found a beauty there. What can't that young man do? Takes draws. He's a wizard in the face-off circle. Penalty kill, power play, plays physical. I mean, that's the kind of guy that you stick on a team and he can play up and down your lineup. Caleb Maholtra will lean in.
Bulldogs.
Puck back to Zach Sandu, and that just bounced wide of the net.
Tweaking the defense pairs a little bit now with, you saw Engel and Danford together. And now Sandu's on the right side with Cam Hankai. Opportunity, right? It's a 7-0 game. You can maybe try some things, mix and match a little bit, right?
Sandu's drive to the front of the net, bouncing puck lifted wide of the goal. Zach Sandu down the boards. Caleb Maholtra, right wing corner. Around the back is Adam Bannock. Bannock stations up there. Has a look to both sides. Dennis walking down. Got underneath it. Puck takes a weird bounce off a stanchion. And the Battalion will play it into the Bulldogs bench with 4 seconds left in the second period.
Well, 2 goals for the Bulldogs in the second period. They've Battalion have actually outshot the Bulldogs 15. Actually, it's 15 apiece now in the second period. 34-20 overall for the Brantford Bulldogs, who have just had everything go right so far in this hockey game through almost 40 minutes of play.
Ethan Procession reminds me of a player, and it came back to me, Dave Poulin. Remember Dave Poulin?
Yep, yeah, Flyers, and amongst other teams.
4 seconds left in the frame. Puck will be guided wide of the goal, and that is where this frame will end. Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead through 40 minutes. Norm, they've got everything they've wanted out of this first 40, but if you're the North Bay Battalion, you got to take 4 games to win a series. This thing is a long, long way from concluded.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that they'll be looking the third to kind of build a little bit, get themselves sorted for the game 2 of the series. And, there's an old saying about playoff hockey. Playoff series doesn't really begin until you've played in both buildings.
And the Longyear Memorial Gardens is a really hard place to win in. Bulldogs up 7-0 through 40 minutes of play in game 1. We'll be back with our second intermission when we return to Big Steel Box. Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
I am Gagwege. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post.
Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
Hey, it's Chris and Cam, host of What's Buzzin', and listen, if you're looking for a fun spot to hang out, a way to stay connected in the community, and then to stay up to date on all things trending, you found it right here.
We have a lot of fun here on What's Buzzin'. We talk to so many amazing guests, and we also like to stir the pot just a little bit.
Yeah, we sometimes irritate each other here and there. We get a little bit of arguments, but it's all for fun, right?
Can't help that.
Yes, the magic all starts Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hope you're ready to join us.
See you there.
We're ready.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Cable 14 and Rogers TV. Our intermission interview is brought to you by our friends at Ensure Home Comfort. Feel right at home, and he's feeling right at home in the playoffs. Our Laura Kitchen has Caleb Malholtra. Laura?
Thanks, Reed. Caleb, the OHL just named you a finalist for Rookie of the Year. What would that mean to you in your season?
It'd be pretty cool. Obviously, my roommate, Jake O'Brien, won that in his rookie year, so it'd be pretty special, but it'd just be more special to win with this group, so that's what I'm focused on.
You set a new rookie record for points in a playoff series with 9 points in 4 games. What helped you succeed so well in the first round?
The guys around me, I say it every time, and it really helps when I'm playing with the guys I'm playing with, and our power play's been so unbelievable and it's clicked so well, so when we get a chance, we know we're going to score, so that's been awesome.
It's 7-0 going into the third. What's the main goal here in the next period?
Stick to our game. We got to let them know that there's no light at the end of the tunnel and it's not going to get easier. We're going to make it hard for them this series, and we want to sweep them here and get them over with quick.
Have a good period. The Bulldogs hockey will be back on Rogers TV after a short break.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Oh, folks, Not Tonight with Giovanni Petiti has killer monologues, great local guests who have too much talent for national late night, and this show's got high energy. Bills. It's the show TV critics are saying is just like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, if you ordered it on Temu. So join me Sundays at 9 p.m. on Rogers TV. Hey, I've seen your social calendar. What else do you got to do, huh? Nice.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Aging Well brings you conversations with experts to help empower your golden years with enthusiasm and optimism. Don't miss Aging Well with Angela and Alice Liu, Mondays at 7 p.m.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Back inside TD Civic Center here at our second intermission. Reed, Norm back with you up top. Troy will be joining us down at ice level in moments. And Norm, as we get into this second round, chalk did not hold necessarily in the first. Though I don't know if you consider the 4-5s really upsets in that mentality, but the North Bay Battalion over the Peterborough Peats, the Sioux Greyhounds over the London Knights, and we get some really interesting matchups headed into round two.
Yeah, and I think what probably surprised, disappointed, whatever you want to say for most people, was the fact that, only the one series went to 6 games. That was the North Bay Peterborough. Only 2 went 5 games, and we ended up with 5 sweeps. And I can't remember, the OHL Playoffs, I heard Mike Farwell on his podcast say it's something like in the last 25 years, the lowest seed is in the first round has won 31 times or somewhere in and around there. So it's quite often chalk holds in terms of the OHL playoffs, and we've seen years where the top seeds go 8-0 in that first round. Right. But yeah, I think if you talk to most people, what maybe surprised me was a little bit just the number of sweeps in that, and even that London Sioux series going in 5 games. I know London is rebuilding, but they still finished 4th in that Western Conference and had themselves a pretty decent season. And they only win the 1 playoff game. Rebuild, you finished 4th. Troy, as you take a look at the slate for the second round, take us inside. What's picking your fancy outside of this Bulldogs Battalion series?
Oh, most definitely it's going to be Ottawa-Barrie. That game has the potential to go to 7 long, hard games. And like I said, if the Bulldogs are able to be successful here, it would be nice to see Barrie and Ottawa have to play 7 tough games.
Well, yeah, and 2 teams, really different stylistically too. I mean, Barrie, hard-nosed team. Ottawa can certainly, play that kind of game, but they're, always strike him as a bit more of a structured kind of team, hard-working. Dave Cameron's going to roll 4 lines this year. He's had exceptional goaltending from Fedorov and Nelson as well, though certainly Rebick and Jaswal, Jaswal are no slouches for Barrie. So yeah, some really intriguing aspects of that series, and you have some wild cards in there like Aitchison and what he can do on a night in, night out basis and take over a game. But yeah, that one's, I'm with Troy. That's going to be an intriguing one. 2 teams that finished a point apart during the regular season.
Another one too would be Flint Windsor. Will we get to see the real Flint Firebirds, and will Windsor be a viable opponent for them? Because that first round for them, they had their way with them, and the Flint Firebirds were a scoring machine in the playoffs so far this year.
Yeah, you look at that Flint team up front as well, and you've got Aspinall, Anderson, Lombardi. That group is going to be really hard for anybody to stop. Joey Costanzo, a pretty good goaltender in net for the Windsor Spitfires.
Yeah, absolutely. And, unfortunately, a couple injuries for Windsor, but hey, that's hockey, and you're going to have to deal with it, and the Windsor Spitfires are.
The Kitchener Rangers and the Sioux Greyhounds.
Right.
This one gets really interesting. We've seen what the Rangers can do. Saginaw gave them a couple of moments to think about, a lot like Sudbury did to the Bulldogs in round one. And as you look at those two teams, Kitchener's got depth, they've got talent, but I look at that Sioux team. Brady Martin went to another level in round one. Chase Reed is in the conversation as the #1 overall pick. Harris Pankratich does not get enough credit for what he does on the back end for the Greyhounds. Big, physical, and nasty. And if it comes right down to goaltending, Carter George is very possibly the best goaltender in junior hockey.
That's the wild card.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sioux really only had Brady Martin, and Carter George for half the season.
Yeah.
I mean, they got George in the trade from Owen Sound, and Martin started season in NHL, World Juniors, had some injuries. We didn't see him when the Sioux came in here earlier this year, and Mignose has just had a great season for them, so they certainly have enough to give Kitchener some fits. And if Carter George steals a game or two on his own, that could be a real interesting series.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up here. We'll keep eyes on these series as we go along. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's coming up over the next 2 nights in the OHL on the road to our third period of Game 1 on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
Are you a passionate content creator ready to expand your audience reach? Do you have unique stories, captivating hobbies, or special interests that deserve a spotlight? Rogers TV is here to amplify your voice within the community. We offer you the platform to broadcast your content to a wider audience. And the best part, it's completely free. Don't miss this opportunity to share your vision and engage with viewers. Find out how Rogers TV can transform your content journey today.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
I love being a champ.
I am a member of the Warham's Child Amputee Program. Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities.
I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me.
It's your donations that make the Warham's CHAMP program possible.
Thank you.
As conflict escalates in the Middle East, millions of people are in urgent need of food, water, shelter, and medical care. Humanitarian coalition members are moving fast to deliver aid in Lebanon, Syria, and across the region. But we need your support to save even more lives. Donate now at together.ca. Your donation can help families caught in the Middle East emergency. That's together.ca. The Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey on Rogers TV and Cable 14. This is the only game going on around the Ontario Hockey League tonight as the second round gets going on a Wednesday night. We'll give you an update on what's going to happen tomorrow and Friday with our friends from Canaley Construction Law. The Ottawa 67s and Barrie Colts, the other series in the Eastern Conference, will get going tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at Sandlin Arena in Barrie. And then on Friday night, it'll be right back here for Game 2 between the Bulldogs and the Battalion. As well, the Sioux will go to Kitchener to open that series, Flint in Windsor to open that series. Every game up until Saturday night will have a 7 or 7:05 start time. Highlights of the second period and the drop of the puck for the third coming your way when we return to Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way, Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
The Quintessence Coalition brings you immersive experiences and conscious collaborations from artists across the country. Don't miss the sights, sounds, and spirits of the Quintessence Coalition. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions See the Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9.
And we're off like a herd of turtles.
Holy sugar
Gold 29.
Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way. Please join us, 8 o'clock every Monday, right here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Back inside TD Civic Center as we get set for the third period of play. Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead through 40 in game one. We'll take a look at the highlights to see how they got there in the middle frame. And Norm, they came out on the front foot again in that middle period, just like we saw in the first.
Yeah, and it was really that line of Luchenko, O'Brien, and Van Acker who set the pace early. They're not the ones who are going to get the board on this goal that you're going to see here in a moment. It's going to be Adam Jiracek who just steps in with a nice little move there, gets himself to middle ice, and with a crowd, beats Mike McIver.
After a broken stick from Adrian Manzo, Jake O'Brien ahead. Mike McIver was under siege right from the very beginning, and the Bulldogs would add a second in the frame.
Yeah, McIver was had to make a number of quality stops coming in relief of Listen. And there's a shot by Banach, and yeah, there you see the stick of Luca Testa knock that in. And I think if you added up the distance of all of Luca Testa's 4 goals in the playoffs from the goal line, I don't think you'd even reach the hash marks, would you?
No, probably not. But Mike McIver with a brilliant stop. That'll give his bench something to cheer about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Came up with a big save on Dennis.
Guy was a starting goalie last year for them, right? And he played in a number of games this year. Just Listen took the net from him over the course of the season and with the way that he played. And, you got to give credit to the battalion coaching staff to, going with the guy who earned it, right?
We'll take a look at our scoring summary for period 2, brought to you by our friends at West Brant Window World in cooperation with Ladies Who Lead. Adam Jiracek's third of the postseason at 4:35 from Dylan Tashurna and Ryder Bolton, followed by Luca Testa's fourth from Adam Banach and Adam Jiracek at 14 minutes. Shots 15-15 in that second period, 34-20 for the game overall. And Norm, as we head back downstairs for the third period, if you're the North Bay Battalion, 7 goals would seem very unlikely to mount the comeback from in this one.
It'd be historic, certainly.
Yeah, you are trying to get something going here for game 2.
Finish strong.
Yeah, finish strong, absolutely. And Troy, and win the period, all those sorts of things. So, I heard Ryan Olhan say, and I'm not going to quote him exactly but he talked about momentum in a series, and he said it's not really a thing, I think is what he was getting at. It's really a night. Every game is different, and every game is unique. So,
yeah, I mean, they need to concede that this game got away from them too quick for maybe them to get back into it. Who knows? Weirder things have happened. But the important thing is, I very much doubt, and I'll bet a large quantity of money that there will be not another 7-0 game in this series. And North Bay just needs to finish strong here and bring some momentum into game 2.
Yeah, this is not an aggregate score through the series. It resets at 0-0 by the time we get to Friday night in game 2. As the puck played around the backboards to open up in the third. Enright followed by Gabriel Frasca. Enright will shuttle that on to Shamar Moses. Playing it across to Wellenreiter. Wellenreiter from the right side, chips it down to the end wall. Moses around the back of the Brantford net, run into by Zach Sandu. Back to the point, Enright on to Greer. Greer to the front where Moses had stationed up. Playing it out of the right wing corner, it'll be worked to the line. Greer caught it down, pass procession to the end wall. Moses, left wing half wall. Plays it below the goal line again. Zach Sandu's after it. Sandu kicks to his stick and holds up in behind the Bulldogs net.
Yeah, everyone's going for a change. Sandu and Danford back together, by the way. Start this third period.
Like peanut butter and jelly. As Danford starts his way forward to Jevluchenko on the fly. Luchenko pulls up in the slot. Shot blocked off by Manzo. Game-changing speed has Jevluchenko.
And you just don't realize how fast he is until you're down here.
You can't give him any space. Gervais caught by Luchenko from the backside. Callie off the end wall. Yedacek kind of spin loose, playing it on to Merrick Van Acker. Van Acker's pass picked off by Parker Vaughan. Save made by Leenders. Adam Yedacek collects it wide. Merrick Van Acker over the line. Van Acker below the goal line on the left, chipped it out front. O'Brien scores. Second of the game for the Bulldogs captain. It's an 8-0 lead.
Well, after Merrick Van Acker gave the puck away in his own zone for a good opportunity by Parker Vaughan that you just saw there. He's the one who's going to be provider here to his centerman, Jake O'Brien. Little bunt into the net. Off that ankle-high pass that comes across from Van Acker, and good little hand-eye at both ends, Troy.
Yeah, great little pass by Van Acker. He came in over the line. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He looked over and he just waited for O'Brien to catch up, tossed it across, and it's perfect timing.
Cam Orange shot. That challenged Leenders. Blocker to side.
There's been a few moments that have sort of summed out how this night has gone for the Bulldogs, and that might be one of them right there. You give away the puck in your own zone to a dangerous shooter in Parker Vaughan, and you just go down the other end and score.
Harper batted down by Warren with speed on the left side. Laird back to Warren, poked away by Zach Sandu.
They will not get away with that all series, certainly.
No.
And that's the kind of thing that, from a video perspective, will be reviewed and scrutinized heading into game two, because Ryerson Leenders hasn't had to make a lot of tough saves, but he's certainly had to make his share.
Yeah, there have been a few in this game where he's come up big. Bulldogs were offside, face off the neutral ice. Tashurna battles the puck loose from Dubravtsev into the offensive zone.
The stick got stuck in Ryder Carey. Tashurna's did.
Coming into the third period, Dylan Tashurna has returned to game action, 6 for 8 in the faceoff. That's pretty impressive when you haven't played since late January.
Yeah, to get that out of a fourth line center who's going to, that helps when you start with the puck.
Tashurna on the back end of the wall. Greer kept it down. Guided aside by Leenders. Tashurna again for Parker Holmes. Holmes to center red to Ryder Bolton. Bolton off the left side. Blocked off by Enright. Bolton just followed the puck. It came right to him. To the blue line. Danford walks on to the right circle. Out front for Holmes. Just off his forehand.
Pass almost seemed to surprise Holmes a little bit. Whether it may have also hit something on the way through that threw the timing off.
There was a crowd that developed. He probably never saw it. Cam Hankai holding up behind his own net, and he'll leave it on to Owen Protz.
A little collision in front of you, Troy. Tashurna, I think?
Yeah, Tashurna and Cronin initiated a little bit by Tashurna, I believe. Just my opinion.
Gabriel Frasca rolls it into the offensive zone. Moses twists, blocked off by Protz. To the left circle, Protz middle of the ice, wanted Testa. Ripped away there by Procession on the back check. Shamar Moses pulls up on the left side. Moses walks along the top, feeding onto Bronson Ride for a drive. Blocked by Gabriel Frasca. Moses blocked by Adam Jedicek. Ride down low. Wellenreiter to the side of the net. Runs on to Ride. Ride plays it back off the corner wall. Jedicek. Puck slid past him. Wellenreiter forced to the wall by Jedicek. Moses is the next man. Nice feed back to the line, and Manzo blocked by Charlie Paquette. And now Luca Testa will take the puck. Testa for Paquette, left wing side. Drop is Frasca. Fanned on the initial. Gets it low for Paquette. Paquette on to Sandu. Walks on. Blocker save made by McIver. Testa, who was going to the bench for a change, had the puck come right to him. Sandu. Down the left wing wall. Manzo in the path. Bulldogs were making a change. Sandu held the puck up long enough that help arrived, but now it'll be played out as Ryder Kelly carrying on the left, bothered by Luchenko. Kelly keeping the puck on the outside. That's blocked by O'Brien. Out high is Harper for a shot, save Leenders. Jammed at by Gervais. Leenders down in the crease. Bodies everywhere. Harper into the pile, scores. There was just a mess of bodies in front of Ryerson Leenders, and the long drive from the blue line by Brant Harper will give him his first playoff goal. And an 8-1 game with 14:32 to play in the third.
I think it's going to be Jake O'Brien that was the player who was tangled up with Leenders, 44. Yeah, it's O'Brien who just kind of, the two of them just can't get themselves disentangled. And Leenders is not able to get himself up and set in time.
So one apiece here in the third period. Van Acker steals the puck loose. Bottom of the left circle, up front for Luchenko. Ran to the right wing corner. O'Brien from the top. Danford wanders on, saved McIver. Puck came loose out from under his arm.
Yeah, that rolled dangerously close to the goal line there. It was knocked away by a North Bay player.
Hankai forward to Luchenko, who will make the change off the clear in. Harper up ahead, losing a stride there was Danford. Gervais catches it around back of the Brantford net, hits the brakes. Gervais tried to float it, knocked down by Van Acker. Taking on now Malhotra. He's got Banach with him, trying to play it to space. Banach right side, around back of the net. Out front for Malhotra. Save made there by McIver. Greer and Warren combining on the end wall. Amidovsky forward. Malhotra finds it, and it'll be played on to Dennis.
They've announced Kunaposki for the goal.
Owen Pronce's stick shatters into a different existence.
From Harper and Gervais. We'll see if that stands.
There's drive carried on wide. Kunaposki down low. Amidovsky, his shot blocked off by Jedicek. Jedicek will find it and flip it ahead. Banach up and out, and Greer will bring it down. Yeah, I'll have to take another look at that one. I didn't think it hit anybody in front. I thought Harper just fired it through the pile and in. As Sandu will find the puck around back of his own net. The defenseman would have had to have been down in front of the net to get a stick on that puck, which in that spot, I'm not sure that was the play. We shall find out. Ryder Bolton off the wall. Bronson Ride to catch it down. Cronin curls his way forward, pulls up and fires. Save made by Leenders. He'll hang on. 12:17 left to play in the third period. 8-1 in game one on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
The Ontario Hockey League invites you to join the OHL Playoffs Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and presented by Nissan, where fans make team predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. Visit OHLAnthemFX.io to join the fun and claim rewards.
Ready to love your home again? At Bell City Carpet One Floor and Home, our experts make floor shopping easy. From inspired design to flawless installation, discover a space that's uniquely you. Bell City Carpet One, proud supporter of the Brantford Bulldogs.
You might not love going to the dentist, but you will love coming to Clarence Street Dental. Our mission is to serve families with dentistry they can trust, giving each patient the confidence to own their smile. Get your game faces on with Clarence Street Dental.
Welcome back to Big Steel Box, Brantford Bulldogs playoff hockey here on Rogers TV and Cable 14. Bulldogs with an 8-1 lead, 12-17 left to play in the third period. And talk about great performances for the Bulldogs thus far. Adam Jedicek has 4 points on the night. That gives him 9 in 5 games. As puck rolls back to the line, Ride shot blocked off by Ryder Bolton. And then Bolton takes Manzo to the wall in neutral ice. Cam Hankai up the boards. Parker Holmes shuttles it into the offensive zone. Play would be offside. Bulldogs will have to tag up. Right up ahead of everybody, icing with 11:41 to play.
And both coaches are going to get an opportunity here, guys, in this third period to give them the score here to kind of ride all 4 lines a little bit. Second straight year these two teams have met in the playoffs, and third in the last 4.
2022, so
yeah.
This would be the 5th year?
5th year. Teams met in the Eastern Conference Final the year the Bulldogs went on and won the championship in 2022. Battalion went to 3 straight Eastern Finals and then qualified for the playoffs last season.
Yeah, remarkable consistency for the Battalion.
Yeah, I think they're a franchise, guys, that you don't hear talked about as much in that terms of that consistency, but 3 straight conference finals is pretty impressive accomplishment.
Well, again, go back to who's building the team. Adam Dennis, John Winstanley, Ryan Olahan. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Yeah, and Dennis, of course, was part of the goaltender with the London Knights back in the day. And
the super team.
That beat Sidney Crosby.
Yes.
And we talked to Jay McKee before the game, and he just talked about the respect that he has for Ryan Olahan. And these two guys are some of the best in the OHL. And they have total respect for each other on the ice as well as off the ice.
They've just changed that goal to the North Bay goal to Harper. Aaron Walsh, PA announcer, just announcing it in the building.
Puck to the wall, Moses.
But Olahan was certainly a great player, captain with the Brampton Battalion back in the day, was alongside some other great players at that time, like Wojtek Wolski, and then he went on to play in Grand Rapids. We would have seen him come through Hamilton with the Griffins.
Numerous times, yeah.
And now he's coaching. Troy and I are still doing this.
I think I called him with Grand Rapids at the very beginning of my career.
You might have. You're not that old, buddy.
I think we did, Reed. I think you're right.
I think we did.
I think you might have. He must have been like 12 when you were calling the game.
Oh, stop.
He was, literally.
No, that was when I was calling the games on PlayStation. I had a sninkle around the back of his own net. Or Sega Genesis. Google that one. NHL 94, I can still hear the music.
Right. Brass Bonanza.
Oh, not that, not that. Adam Banach on to Cooper Dennis. Pulls up in the left circle. Memories of the Adams division. Heartbreak against the Whalers. Hankai forward. Maholtra off of a leg. Greer tosses it up ahead. Puck gets wrapped around the wall. Back to the right wing corner. Vaughn to the top. Greer on to Enright. Fires. Save made by Leenders. He'll hang on. 8:56 left to play in the third period.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at this Battalion organization, and Stan Butler was synonymous. He was the only coach and GM they had for years until Adam Dennis and others, Ryan Olahan, John Winstanley now getting involved, and they have really carried on with the success that Butler built when that team was playing in Brampton. They were a consistent playoff force. Didn't always break through, but you know they had a run of good seasons, and a list of players that came out of there as impressive as any franchise.
Oh, without a doubt. Ryder Bolton.
Back when Brent Burns was a forward.
That's right. Just played his 1,000th consecutive NHL game the other night. Consecutive. Cam Warren across the line. Ryder Bolton after it. Around the back of the net. Dylan Tischerna will locate it. Right wing side. Stripped loose by Warren. Ride pokes it up and out, and Pratt's back on top of it. Hard enough to play 1,000 games in the league, let alone to do them in a row.
Yeah, playing defense as well.
Oh. And he's got to be part of a team that's favored for the Stanley Cup at this point with that Colorado Avalanche group that they are loaded. Mira Mamedovsky twirling back in his own end. Mamedovsky slides away from Banach, and he'll toss it down to the left wing corner. Yevgeny Dubrovtsev with the assist on the goal for the Battalion. 4 helpers in the playoffs for him, his first taste of OHL playoff action.
Yeah, and Sebastian Gervais, who they picked up from Saginaw, and has had a good run in North Bay to finish out the year.
There's a young man who's been underrated his entire career, Sebastian Gervais.
Yeah, an overager.
Banach right side, twirling away from the pressure of Carey. Fed back onto Dennis. Now Engels drive. Dubrovtsev blocks it. Banach across the ice to Cooper Dennis. Backside, Banach waves it out of the air.
And a savvy pickup by North Bay, right? You get the older forward in there, flush out your lineup a little bit.
Came over with Hayden Parch, too. Made that deal even better. Malhotra just missed it high. Sandu down the wall, picked loose by Dubrovtsev, who will slide his way onto Pronin and out. 7 minutes to play in the first period, or in the third period. Puck kicked aside by Ryerson Leanders. Pronin.
I don't know where does have to go put more money in the meter for still only in the first period. No meter. You had us in executive parking. Thanks, buddy.
I did put in a word that you guys were on the way. As Cooper Dennis out to it, but do not thank me. That is Stephanie Barrett, our director of operations. As Owen Pratt's back in his own goal.
I think Troy and I knew you didn't do anything helpful for us. So.
Well, I didn't say that. As Protz will toss it to the goal. Mike McIver.
Oh, sorry.
Will hang on with 6-18.
If he really cared, he'd be out there with a yellow vest.
That's right, and the things in the hands guiding us in.
What? Now I'm a air traffic controller? I don't want that job.
No.
You know, I work here. Like there's stuff I have to do.
All right.
Especially because Michaela Grimes, my wonderful assistant, not here with us tonight. Michaela watching on at home, get well soon, had the wisdom teeth out.
Oh.
Yeah. She did not want to miss playoff hockey. As Luca Testa to the side of the goal, puck sticked away. Wellenreiter on to Ride, but when they tell you got to get those out,
oh yeah,
you got to do it.
No messing about.
No. Wellenreiter to the end wall. It's like it was weird today. It was just me up here for like the longest time. An island unto myself. 5:33 left to play in the third period.
Speaking of islands, there's one in the corner right now.
5:29 left to play as they blow the play dead. And an 8-1 game to our final break of the game on Rogers TV and Cable 14.
Since 1984, Kuriyama Canada Inc. has been woven into Brantford's story. We are leaders in manufacturing thermoplastic hose and tubing. Kuriyama Canada, shaping industries, supporting communities.
It's the Electricians' electric play of the game, and it comes courtesy of the combination of Caleb Malhotra and Cooper Dennis.
Nice little feed there by Malhotra. We've seen that all season long. Cooper Dennis with the finish.
They arrived, and it was like they had ESP for one another on the ice immediately.
Yeah, Dennis, 2007, playing in his first season here in the Ontario Hockey League as a 18-year-old. He's got another year of junior eligibility left. We'll see.
Talking to Jay McKee, I don't think that was necessarily the combination they were expecting to run with when everyone first got to camp, but it connected. And
yeah, and you see them out there killing penalties together. We got a neck guard.
I mean, we've seen these connections in Bulldogs history. Morrison and Hayes as Gervais plays that around the back. Thomas and Lardis. As Owen Brock shoveled Vaughn to the wall.
And then Sagen and Rob Thomas in the half season or so they played together.
Konopaski, big hit on Tisherna. Parker Holmes over to him. Gervais will pull Ryder Bolden off the pile. And I think there's a penalty coming, and Parker Vaughn and Ryder Bolden after one another.
Yeah, this is a little bit what I was afraid of here, that North Bay would take this game a little bit to the gutter. And with 4 minutes and 53 seconds left to go, you just didn't want to see something like that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to that again. I
don't think there was...
Yeah, I'm with you on the sentiment, though, Troy, and you kind of worry in a game at this stage that...
It's away from the boards. It's a hockey hit.
Yeah, I think Parker Holmes is going to be penalized here. But I don't think there's really... Dylan Tisherna is going to be upset because he's just coming back from an injury, but I don't... I think there's...
It's a little bit of physicality we just haven't seen in this game so far.
Right, yeah. It's
from North Bay, anyway.
Yeah, it's been a fairly no-event third period, to your point, Troy.
It's a little bit, it's been like shinny, really.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot going on there. Again, I think the Bulldogs will be a little bit sensitive with Dylan Tisherna coming back from injury. As Troy said, a little bit away from the boards, but
not that Dylan Tisherna has been an angel in this game too, as well. I mean, he's given his shots right in front of me anyway when he gets an opportunity, and he certainly has chirped back and forth with the North Bay guys in their bench.
Well, we know the way Dylan Tisherna plays the game.
Roughing the call on Holmes.
Very much like Ryan Humphrey, as Frasca guides the puck wide to Charlie Paquette. Paquette will play it on to Danford and around the back of the net. Yeah, no, I think Konopaski was just playing hard hockey there. Parker Holmes came in for the response, got called. We go on. Warren for Greer. Back on to Cam Warren. Top of the left circle. Warren navigating high slot. Wellenreiter, he'll exchange with Greer. Greer back to Wellenreiter. One-timer, blockered away by Ryerson Leanders. Wellenreiter once more for Greer. Right side is Warren. Down low, Procession. Nice handle off the goal line. Back now to Greer, middle of the line, left side. Wellenreiter up to Greer, who's got a rocket if he lets it loose. Procession down low. Callie around one felled Bulldog and up and over the top. Ryder Callie's going to be a high pick in the NHL draft. He is fun to watch. Kent Greer on to Warren, right half wall, across the rink. Wellenreiter out front. Oh, Ryerson Leanders! That was magnificent on the goal line.
And I think it was Ryder Callie that he robbed. We'll get a look here in a moment.
From our vantage point, it was a wide open goal, and suddenly that golden leather lobster appeared.
Really good movement here by the battalion, creating this opportunity. Sandu also in there, just kind of to wall off Callie as well.
Yeah, he looked like he took that off or near the line, like right there.
What a stop from Ryerson Leanders.
.32 seconds left in the man advantage for the battalion. Send that second unit out there now. And there's Malhotra and Dennis out there to kill the penalty.
Aaron Enright starting out from behind his own goal. Drops it off to Yevgeny Debratsev. For Manzo. Manzo along the line, Enright. Nice kick to the stick from Cronin to keep that from being a turnover. Puck forced back up the wall. Caleb Malhotra into space. Gonna roll through Manzo. Puck poked back the other direction. Ryder Carey slides it over the line. Evgeny Dubrovtsev on to Pronin for a drive. Whistled it around the back and all the way back through neutral ice.
All even.
Ryder Carey for Evgeny Dubrovtsev. Met by Cam Hancock. Again, Wall, a little fake there from Protz. Gonna work it up the boards. On his backhand for Tashurna, who tosses into the offensive zone. Tashurna and Kunapaski around the back.
Jay McHugh deploying this fourth line regularly here in this third period.
Big hit by Ryder Bolton on Carter Kunapaski. That was likely the receipt.
Yes.
As Holmes tried it for the front for Bolton. Laird moves that forward. And again, I think clean hit either side.
Yeah, and Kunapaski's just a 16-year-old. 2009 born, hanging in there, playing physical.
Yeah, that's another really good player for the battalion. And you're going to build around Greer and Kunapaski on your back end. Yeah, sign me up for that. 1:37 left in the third period.
Yeah, and a good little rebuild on the fly, right? They go, as we said, they go 3 straight Eastern Conference Finals. You know, make the playoffs last season, then finish as the 8th seed, and then right back at it here as the 5th seed, 10th overall in the league, and with a pretty young lineup. They, you know, some older players in Gervais and Procession certainly, but you look through, Ryder Carey's a 2008, Callie's a 2008, Parker Vaughn's a 2008, Dubrovtsev, goes on and on. That's good young group to base your team around for next season.
Getting Ryder Callie was a thing of beauty. Much akin to the Bulldogs picking up the rights to Caleb Malhotra.
And Callie, 36 points this year in 47 games. That's good numbers for a first-year player.
Started with the Milton Menace last year.
Oh, they got a cool logo.
Yeah, they do. Jerseys are real nice. Testa on to Banach. Banach pulls up, rink wide for Sandu. Sandu draws one, tosses it deep. Luchenko will let it run. Banach picks it up in behind the net. Under a minute left to play. Banach on to Luchenko. Jed Luchenko stepped to the forefront. Couple of points in this one. That line with himself, O'Brien and Van Acker, has been excellent since coming together. And Edison Engel will collect the puck behind his own goal. Engel will wait. Under 30 seconds. Hancock pauses and plays it around the back. Edison Engel once more. Quickly on to Dylan Tashurna. Tashurna in deep. He and Kunapaski collided once more. Hankai, left point, walks on, fed out front. Holmes on his backhand will turn and fire, save McIver. 2 seconds and 1, and that is how game 1 will come to a close. The Brantford Bulldogs with an 8-1 victory in game 1 of this Eastern Conference semifinal.
Yeah, really impressive. Built off that 5-0 first period lead, and the Bulldogs just never looked back after that. Going up 7-0 after 2, and each team gets a goal here in the third. A little something out of the third period for each team. Battalion maybe something to build for heading into game 2, but it'll be a clean slate on Friday night for both teams. And as much as you say, Reed, an impressive win here tonight. This series isn't decided on aggregate. It's the first 1 to 4 wins. And the Bulldogs get the first blood in this series.
And the Bulldogs will plant the flag on home ice. And it's the man who comes back for the first time since late January. Dylan Tashurna will gather his mates around. And it's 1 down.
Yeah, it certainly must feel great for Dylan Tashurna to be back on the ice. Tough for any player to be out for that length of time. You know, you heard a variation of this quote over the year from athletes, but you play the game to play the game. And, I think certainly it's a good opportunity for him to get back in. That fourth line looked a little bit more, looked menacing with and had certainly had an identity, and certainly they did with Rossetto and Guvderis and Bolton out there. Now you've got a little bit of a different element in terms of some nastiness there, some size, and a group that can go out and kind of get in on the forecheck and wear you down a little bit.
Yeah, that 6'4", 220+ pound frame of Parker Holmes makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's, in his first game